Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're joining me today because we're looking at one of the most energetic, colorful, and widely celebrated holidays in the entire United States. I'm talking about the 4th of July, formerly known as Independence Day. Now, if you've ever wondered why Americans shoot brilliant lights into the summer sky or gather for massive outdoor feasts in the middle of July, well, you're in the perfect place. Today, we're going to use this visual guide to expand your vocabulary and really understand the culture behind this massive holiday. So here's our game plan for today. We'll start with the history of Independence Day, then we'll look at the 2026 historic milestone, check out some classic American holiday foods, talk about parades, games, and fireworks, and finally wrap up with some holiday vocabulary and greetings. All right, let's jump into Section 1, History of Independence Day. Let's travel all the way back to the year 1776. Picture this. America isn't an independent nation yet. It's actually a group of 13 colonies ruled by Great Britain, but the colonists really want the freedom to govern themselves. Then, a truly monumental event happens on July 4th, 1776. Leaders actually signed a historic document called the Declaration of Independence. Fast forward to the present day, and this action is celebrated as a massive federal holiday. And a federal holiday basically means that banks, schools, and government offices are completely closed down so that everyone nationwide can celebrate freedom together. To really get what this all means, let's zero in on the word declare. To declare simply means to state something clearly and officially. So the crucial takeaway here is that by signing the Declaration of Independence, the colonies weren't just asking for freedom. No, they were officially and clearly stating that they were breaking away from British rule. This very action birthed a brand new nation. Moving right along to Section 2, the 2026 historic milestone. 250. That is a huge number. In the year 2026, the United States is turning exactly 250 years old. This is just a monumentally huge birthday for the nation. And that brings us to a fascinating, wildly long 18-letter word, semi-quincentennial. It literally just means a 250th anniversary. Now, because America is hitting this semi-quincentennial, the celebrations in 2026 are going to be so much larger than usual. We're talking about once-in-a-lifetime festivals, major museum exhibits, and special historical ceremonies happening all over the country. Honestly, if you're living in or even visiting the US around this time, you are in for a serious historic treat. Let's dig into Section 3, Classic American Holiday Foods. So, let's explore the all-American menu. I mean, you could almost smell the food, right? First up, we have the grilled meats. Usually, you'll have a parent or a friend acting as the chef, standing by a hot grill just cooking massive amounts of hot dogs, hamburgers, cheeseburgers, and barbecue ribs. Second, we've got the classic side dishes. You're almost always going to see a big bowl of potato salad, baked beans, and coleslaw sitting on the table. And finally, the patriotic desserts. Bakers get super creative here, using the colors of the American flag, red, white, and blue. People absolutely love to eat classic apple pie, fresh watermelon slices, and vanilla cakes that are beautifully decorated with red strawberries and blue blueberries, so they look exactly like the flag. Let's look a little closer at one specific side dish, coleslaw. This is a very common vocabulary word you'll hear during the summer. Coleslaw is basically a cold salad made of finely shredded raw cabbage. Just imagine the crunch of fresh green and purple shredded cabbage mixed with a cool dressing on a really hot summer day. It's the perfect, refreshing pairing for those hot grilled meats. Now, if you get invited to an Independence Day party, it's very often going to be a potluck. A potluck is a gathering where every single guest brings a dish of food to share with everybody else. So if you're invited to a potluck, don't worry, you don't need to cook a massive meal. You just prepare one single item, maybe your favorite side dish or dessert, and bring it along. It's honestly a wonderfully relaxed and communal way to experience American food culture. All right, Section 4, parades, games, and fireworks. So I pose this question to you. How do Americans actually spend their time on this holiday? What does a full day actually look like from sunrise to long after sunset? Well, here is the perfect chronological flow of the 4th of July. Step 1 starts right in the morning with community parades. Step 2 moves into the hot afternoon, which is all about staying cool with swimming and playing outdoor lawn games. And Step 3, the grand finale, is the evening fireworks. Let's break these down one by one. First up, the morning parades. Communities host these incredible events featuring marching bands, actors dressed up in 1776 historic clothing, and local fire trucks driving slowly down the street, throwing candy out to the kids. To describe this visually, we use a great idiom, decked out. When a town is decked out, it means it's completely and beautifully decorated in the holiday colors of red, white, and blue. You'll see flags and streamers literally everywhere. As we transition into the afternoon, it gets pretty hot, so people head out to pools, lakes, and beaches to go swimming and stay cool. Back on the grass, folks play popular lawn games. One game you definitely must know is called cornhole. Cornhole is this simple but highly entertaining game where players take turns tossing small square beanbags across the yard, aiming to get them into a small hole cut into an angled wooden board. It is an absolute staple of the backyard barbecue. And then the sun finally goes down. This is what everyone has been waiting for all day, the grand finale. Almost every single city puts on a massive professional fireworks display. People gather in parks, laying out blankets and unfolding lawn chairs, just sitting on the grass together to look up and watch the night sky absolutely light up with brilliant, booming colors. Now, while those massive fireworks are happening way up in the sky, adults often give children a much smaller, handheld celebration. This is called a sparkler. A sparkler is basically a thin metal rod that burns slowly and creates beautiful, safe, sparkling lights right in your hand. It's a magical way for families to safely interact with the light displays of the evening. Finally, Section 5, Holiday Vocabulary and Greetings. Let's do a quick review of these terms together. Seriously, feel free to pause and practice saying them out loud with me. First up, semi-quincentennial, a 250th anniversary. Second, potluck, a party where everyone brings a food dish to share. Third, coleslaw, a cold salad made from finely shredded cabbage. Fourth, decked out, beautifully decorated or dressed in holiday colors. And finally, sparklers, safe, small, handheld fireworks for families. Before we wrap things up, you definitely need to know how to interact with the people around you on this holiday. If you're communicating with neighbors, friends, or coworkers around this time of year, the most polite, natural, and friendly way to greet them is simply to smile and say, Happy 4th, or Have a great Independence Day. It is honestly that simple, and it will always be warmly received. I want to leave you with a final thought to spark your curiosity and keep you practicing. Which of these new vocabulary words are you going to use at your next summer potluck? I challenge you to take these words out of this explainer and bring them right into the real world. Thank you so much for exploring this cultural guide with me. Practice these words, impress your friends, and have a truly great historic celebration.